just being as open and honest as I can. So, apologies to those of you who couldn't give a rat's ass about my personal life. If that's the case, that's fine. I don't really object to that, but you might as well switch off now and watch something more interesting.
Not gonna switch off. I love these more personal type of videos from anybody, especially you. You're very deep, so on with the video.
In my first episode of Skeletons Be Free, I talked about some of the most shameful thing I've ever done. In my own estimation. I'm sure I've done things which you might think are more deplorable than that, but I'm not going to go there. I already just discussed it in that video.
No, I see where you're coming from there. The guilt you would get from doing something like that. If I had done something similar, that'd probably be my least favorite moment as well.
For this video, I'm going to talk about just some of the difficulties I've been struggling with over the past month or two.
Talk on.
First of all, as some of you might be slightly aware, I've been a bit upset recently because my dad was in a bad way. My dad's had cancer off and on. He's on his 5th round of cancer. He's had cancer off and on for about 24 years. And this time it's terminal, but he still fights like a dog.
I can't imagine what that's like. I don't know. These type of moments make me pissed off and angry because you don't deserve to have to see your dad go through things like that. Like at least with how I know you as a person on YouTube, I'm sure everybody's different in real life, but as I know you on YouTube, you don't deserve to experience anything like that.
Trying to slow it down. There's nothing they can do to cure it, but he refuses to give up, and I have nothing but respect for that. He's also begged me not to come and see him, and this has weighed heavily on me at various different times ever since the spring, when I first found out his condition was so serious. Anyway, however, I don't want, nor will I accept, frankly, any advice about, go and see him regardless of whether he wants to have...
Not going to give you any. You're a really smart person. I would never tell you to do anything. As a general rule, I don't like it when other people tell people to do anything as a just general principle, so it's the best solution. Nobody else knows you as well as you do, and I certainly don't know your father as well as you, so
be there. He'll thank you for it in the end and all that kind of crap. No, he won't. Y'all don't know my dad. My dad is not surprised. I'm talking about my real father here, by the way. Is not surprisingly a lot like me, in the sense that he has an awful strong sense of pride, and he wants to be the determiner for how he goes out. And I respect that. I understand that. If I was elderly and infirm, I would definitely expect my loved ones to respect my wishes as to how I wanted my final days to be.
That is the challenge with it, isn't it? Because on one hand, someone who's dying does deserve to have things the way they want it in their last days, but at the same time, everybody around them are so affected by their decisions that it just kind of, it's kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you want them to experience life the way they wish to experience it during those times, and on the other hand, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
He wants it to just be him and his wife alone together, and I can totally understand. And how could I possibly object, really? But it has left me coping with, certain unanswered feelings and emotions which I haven't really ever had to process before. You know, I grew up not knowing my real father, and we have a what I would call a decent relationship, although it's strained, I suppose, by our lack of actual experience of one another. And but there's no lack of love, and there's no lack of appreciation for who the other is. I mean, I feel I know my dad. I'm pretty confident he knows who I am, what I'm older.
I don't want to say I know what you mean because everybody's situation is unique, but cousin of mine has a similar situation with his father. He never really knew him, but I don't know what I'm going with this. Just wanted to say that I know there are other people out there, there are a lot of other people out there that I know, acquaintances as well that have that similar situation with a father or a mother. And it sucks, if you ask me. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, I guess, with society. But anyways.
And so on. It's just really hard. It's really frustrating, But no matter how many times you tell someone you love them, no matter how many hugs you give someone, you're always going to wish that you could have given more.
Yeah.
And you're always going to have to face that moment that the last one was the last one. So I've been struggling with facing that moment,
Yeah, I was struggling with that a lot too. It was 2 weeks ago that my grandmother passed away, and she lived in the same town that I did when I was growing up, and so I met her a lot, and it was really hard going to the hospital to see her because I knew it was pretty much the last time I'd see her, or at least last time, I'd see her when she was conscious. And so, man, the last time you interact, that's tough. That isn't easy.
The last time I saw my dad was in 2003. The last time I spoke to him was a few weeks ago. He doesn't like me to bug him too often, which is not easy because I want to check and make sure he's still alive, Anyway, so there's that. That's one sort of really heavy brick that I've been carrying around my neck for the past sort of 6 or 7 months. And in the past 6 or 7 weeks, it's become particularly acute.
It's understandable, man. It's one of those situations where it seems the more you think about it, the worse the reaction is, I don't know what I can say, man, other than I'm sorry.